right, y'all, this is a state of emergency. Everything is fair use, educational purposes only. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. We have breaking news from New Orleans. This is from, shout out to ABC News Live. New Orleans jail has 10 inmates that has escaped today. They are running loose. They got out because the facility is so bad and deteriorating, and the walls are just bad, and the building is so easy for them to knock stuff out, and that's how they escape, because the building is deteriorating. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, let's get into the video. Like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel. And you can subscribe to YOLANDA, Yolanda Reeder, REEDER 2295 YouTube channel. And it's free. It costs nothing to subscribe. Okay, let's get into this. Fair use.
Breaking news, Orleans Parish Sheriff's Office holding a press conference now updating us on the search for those 10 inmates who escaped from the Orleans Justice Center jail.
Issue, and we all need to continue to work together to solve it, to get these folks back in custody, and we are doing that. All of our energy at OPSO is going towards getting these folks back into custody and finding out exactly what happened. It's a fluid situation. When we're aiming to respond to all media inquiries as quickly as we can possibly do that, but I still have to investigate it, and the integrity of the investigation has to stand. We do acknowledge there is no way people can get out of this facility without there being some type of lapse in security. There's no way. It's almost impossible, not completely, but almost impossible for anybody to get out of this facility without help from the outside. We intend to find out exactly what happened. We know that, I want to say that we know that folks are normally locked down in this facility at 10:30 p.m., but these folks that were able to get out did so because of defective locks on the cells. I have talked about those locks since I got into office. I wrote a letter to the consent decree judge, to the city council, and everybody else who would listen. And every time I go to the budget, I say the exact same thing. When you all covered our millage, I said the exact same thing. There are deficiencies in these facilities that cause public safety concerns. That's why the millage was so important. We'll get into that a little bit more as we move forward. I need to confirm that Campbell Miles is in custody. He's being rebooked for simple escape as well. OPSO deputies found him hiding beneath a car at the Hotel Monteleone parking garage, and he was transported to OJC by Louisiana State Police. We also need to acknowledge that Keith Lewis, who was previously reported as an escaped detainee, was in a different cell. So he had been moved, but it had not been updated. So he is not.
Wow, look at how they look how they got out. What is that in the cell? That's the wall?
On the run, there were 10, not 11, and he is in our facility and did not.
Look how bad the building is. Everything's deteriorating. They was able, to push their way through the wall. Push their way through a deteriorating wall.
Did not try to escape. The remaining individuals are being actively pursued, and our deputies, in collaboration with local and state law enforcement, are working tirelessly to locate and return them to custody. Now we're going to...
Let's go back and look at these walls.
So he is not on the run. There were 10, not 11, and he is in our facility and did not try to escape. The remaining individuals are being actively pursued, and our deputies, in collaboration with local and state law enforcement, are working tirelessly to locate and return them to custody. Now we're going to try and go through a little bit of the timeline of events, because what's being reported out there isn't accurate. What we noticed is that the detainees began yanking on a cell to pull it off track. These are the cells that we keep telling them that we need to replace at great cost in this facility. They were able to break, that was around 12:23 a.m. They were able to break open a door. There was a corrections monitoring technician in the pod module to be watching that. They were still able to exit the jail about 1:01 a.m. after breaching a wall behind a toilet in the jail. And based on video surveillance, they were seen exiting a door on the docks where we normally bring in supplies, scaling a wall, and running across the interstate shortly thereafter. We have indication that these assistance in their escape from individuals inside of our department, and the escape was discovered during a routine head count at 8:30 a.m. this morning. The deputy who was on duty promptly notified jail leadership, and around probably before 9:30, we notified the United States Marshals Task Force, which includes all of our partners in the area, and that was before 9:30, about the incident. I found out myself about 9 o'clock and was on my way to the jail and moving through it. About that time, the exact time I can't give you, but it was before 9:30. I asked our personnel, have we notified NOPD? Have we notified our partners? I was told yes, the task force was notified. And then we were also able to discern that the NOPD was also notified through the Fusion Center. Now, when this went down, our first concern is to find out who these folks are, confirm, and then we've got to lock down the whole jail and find out, make sure nobody else is missing. That's the first thing we have to do. We also have people being moved out to court. We've got to confirm who those are. So this is a fluid situation as we're trying to get a handle on 1,400 people in this facility. So it was a fluid situation. We're still gathering information. We are investigating our own to find out exactly what happened and where those lapses were. But there were supervisors on duty. There were lower level folks on duty, and they all had a job to do. And we're going to find out exactly what happened. I'm going to now turn this over to Chief Jay Mallett, our Chief of Corrections, to talk a little bit more about the cell itself.
Good evening.
Wow, you don't need to hear about the cell. You need to find them 10 suspects that's running loose.